Hello, what's up, everybody? So, um, given what's been happening the past couple of days, I wanted to do a video originally, but we decided to make this a stream. I'm going to have a couple of guests come on. It should be interesting. So, over the last couple of days, the Black Pill guys have been kind of on the attack on prominent Red Pill figures, particularly ones that promote dating. So-called dating coaches, and I kind of wanted to put my 2 cents in there and let you guys know where I stand on that. And so obviously I've been on shows before where I said I'm red pill, but my red pill has some black stripes. And what I mean by that is I do think that black pill people have some points when it comes to lookism and things like that. I think you are at a disadvantage, obviously, if you aren't a Chad or a Chad Light. So that is true. That's not to say that you should just give up because you're not a Chad or a Chad Light. And I wanted to address a few things. My biggest problem with one particular, he says he's MGTOW, but he's going by black pill. One of his accusations, and we'll get to that. But I think we'll get to that later. I think I'll save that. So anyways, I'm red pill, but I understand that I have limitations. Now, that doesn't mean I should just give up or slack off or anything like that. I should obviously try to be the best version of myself. And I've made it pretty clear that I want a family, that I haven't given up on, dating and stuff like that. In fact, I'm getting ready to rejoin the dating market pretty soon because I just got done moving not too long ago. So let's talk about these so-called dating roaches. My first problem is you have Rollo Tomasi in the list. Rollo Tomasi has never claimed to be a dating coach, a PUA, or anything. He just talks about red pill concepts. So I don't understand why, and they called him Witch Boy in this stream. So I don't know why the fuck he's even on the list. Not that I'm going to white knight for any of these guys, but I'm just kind of genuinely confused. And I haven't watched the entire video. I just kind of watched Modern Life Dating's version of it. Stuff he wanted to show, and just what I saw was pretty much ad hominems. And how about the dudes that were on there that cammed up, that I guess are black pill? They look like they have potential. I didn't see anybody that looked like they were just a neckbeard, like an incel, like the thumbnail that I put out here. I didn't see anybody that looked like that. So I don't understand. Like, a lot of these guys could just change their fashion, get some confidence, get a haircut or whatever, learn to dress, learn game, and they'd be fine. I didn't understand it. I think we're going to let on our first guest, someone you guys haven't seen for quite a while. He goes by the name of Grizzly Rising. And he is a former MGTOW, because the SPTOW have essentially taken over they've taken over. And sorry, someone's in the private chat saying goofy stuff. And he's a self-described chud. So without further ado, let's have Grizzly on.
Hey, what's up, Wolf? How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, man? So what do you think about all this? I mean, do you believe that game works? Because I'm of the opinion that you have to be of a particular threshold for game to be effective. If you're below that threshold, there's probably no hope for you out there. But what do you think about it?
You know what? Well, you know what they used to call game back in the day? They used to call it being suave, debonair, charming, a ladies' man. That's what they used to call. I mean, it's just It's just being able to charm women, know how to talk to them, know how to read body language. And it's like anything else, you know, first you're going to be awkward when you first learn it, but as you practice it more, you integrate it into your personality and it becomes more of a reflexive thing than something that you're practicing or just regurgitating.
Yeah, because I think a lot of guys think the dudes basically have some sort of like script, you know, they're written down what they're going to say, and you know, and they think that game is like that, like a script with a fuzzy hat and painted fingernails and doing magic tricks and stuff like that. And
Oh, that's
not
fucking
how it is.
obnoxious. That, you know, that's not that, you know, that, you know, like I said, that might have worked back in the day, but I think it's more about, you know, having a personality, being able to talk to women, not feeling so damn nervous around women, knowing how to call out their bullshit, knowing how to identify their shit test. I have a friend, for example, now my friend's a Chad. Literally he's you look at him, you think, yeah, this is Chad Thundercock. And you know, he's good looking, he's tall, you know, he's been lifting weights now for over 25 years, and he knows how to talk to women. He's not awkward, he doesn't balance scrape to them. He's just a very confident guy, and he's very extroverted. You know, like I said, he has the gift of gab, and for him, it comes naturally.
That's
But yeah,
true.
I think there is a threshold. I mean, like if you're like a triple amputee burn victim, you're not going to have much luck with the ladies.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, you know, and honestly, you know, everybody thinks it's just like this, there's no script to it. You gotta figure out your own script. You gotta know how to rap. You gotta know how to riff and talk to people.
And you're not even a guy that is an actual practitioner of game, really. You just kind of do what you do, and you're, you know, a former MGTOW, because you know you're living the MGTOW lifestyle, but you're just a red pill dude.
Right.
Um, so, and even you know what the deal is. My problem is that this particular content creator said that people who use game, or in my definition, I think you live game, you don't use it per se. If you're a real practitioner of game, you live it. But he says that anyone using or living game is a date rapist, is basically what he said.
Oh, that's just a crock of shit. You know what? That's like back, you know, a couple years ago. There were these spurgs out there accusing me, TFM, and a couple other people being pedophiles with nothing to back it up, nothing to substantiate it. They just threw it out there, and of course, their minions, their sycophants, lapped it up like mother's milk because most of those guys, they can't think for themselves. They get sucked into the cult of personality. And this is just nothing more than the same thing. You know, it's shaming. It's actually a very weak shaming tactic, because let's get into, you know, date rape or date rape is basically when you know, use a roofie or some other drug to drug a chick. You get her really woozy, then you take her home and have sex with her while she's semi-conscious or unconscious. This is not the two things are totally incongruent.
Yeah, I think what the guy is trying to get at, and he seems kind of spurgy, but we'll get into that in a few. But I think what he's trying to get at is if you don't just walk up and she just gets wet when she sees you, that anything other than that is like manipulation.
That only works for a very small segment of the male population. And even then, they got to have some self-confidence and some personality. That probably works for like maybe 1% of the male population. To go up and chat up a girl, you got to be able to talk to them. You got to have a sense of humor. You got to be able to make them laugh, or somehow draw them in and entice them.
Yeah, you have to be charming.
It's called the art of seduction. I mean, let's just cut all the bullshit. It's seduction. It's been going on since the dawn of time.
You know, you have to understand body language. You know,
yeah, exactly.
It's not date rape if she desires you, and I can
right.
Tell
You got to be able to read them.
There are certain body language cues that let you know that they're interested.
But I mean, unless you're a total idiot, you can pick up on the unconscious cues. You can get that feeling. Yeah. You can get that sense. Unless you have like, you're like super autistic and, you know, it doesn't register.
Yeah, exactly. And my problem also is that this guy, not only has he attacked guys like Rolo, who's not a dating coach, he just talks about red pill concepts. But he also said that TFM and Sandman aren't real MGTOWs. Now, I'm not going to white knight for any of these guys.
Right. You know, and I'm not going to white knight for them either. But this fucking real MGTOW shit's been going on for years. You know, guys like this come out, oh, I'm the real MGTOW. You know, they're beating their chest and they're talking about how real they are and how this, that, and the third, they're the real deal and everybody else is not a real MGTOW. It's just bullshit. You know, because often these guys, they end up doing something stupid or they've done something stupid in their past and it comes to light and then they have egg on their face. And I'll also add, this is the reason why I dissed the MGTOW labels, because 4 or 5 years ago, you didn't have these guys in the MGTOW manosphere. You didn't have them in there. You know, you had guys that were serious, that were legit, and you also had a lot of guys that called themselves MGTOW, but they still had casual sex with women. But what happened over the years as the popularity of the movement, and it is a movement, it is a philosophy at the same time. So I don't want to get into that stupid circular argument. But as it grew, you started attracting the incels, the Spurgs, the Looney Tunes, the Elliot Rodger clones, and it's just gone to shit. I mean, I did a video and I caught a lot of shit for it, and the video was titled MGTOW is the clown car of the manosphere. And I did another video called MGTOWs are the NPCs of the manosphere, because it's been taken over. And yeah, there are still decent, serious MGTOWs out there like TFM, like Sandman, Thinking Ape, Spetsnaz, and those guys are still out there. But when people think of MGTOW, they think of these Spurgs. And, you know, it's, you know, and I don't want to be associated with those guys because, like I said, you know, they're legit misogynists, and I know it pisses some guys off, but it's true. And they give the feminists, they give the news media, and all these social justice warriors plenty of ammunition to work with.
Okay, I have a question for you, but let me address the chat first. So Yomi is asking who we're talking about. It's a guy called MGTOW Dictionary. And let me also be clear before I continue. I don't have a problem with Face and LMS at all. In fact, I watch his stuff, and I think there's something to some of the things that he says. The science behind like facial shape and attraction and stuff like that. I mean, it should be blatantly obvious. And why do you think all these Hollywood actors like have similar features like the square jaw and all that stuff? You know, certain facial shapes. And of course, they're rich. They have status. You know, and a lot of them take care of themselves very well so that they can get the movie roles. But anyways, let me ask you as an OG, and you can just, well, really, you can just correct me if I'm wrong, right? So there's really only 3 tenets to being a MGTOW. Don't marry, don't cohabitate, and be your own mental point of origin. Is this correct or incorrect? Or
well, there's one more. It's don't get a woman pregnant.
Okay. Well,
yeah, so you're right about the other 3. Don't cohabitate, don't marry. You can be married and divorced and be considered a MGTOW.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you can't live with them. No long-term relationships. Casual sex is okay, though some MGTOW would argue with that well, no, casual sex is not okay, and you got the monks. But I just look at it this way. I'm like, hey man, if you guys want to go out and have casual sex, go for it, but just be extremely careful so you don't get trapped. You don't get stuck in baby jail, or you don't get a MeToo accusation or a false rape charge.
Absolutely.
But I don't begrudge any man for wanting to go out and have casual relations with women. I never have. You can go through all my videos on BitChute, and you've never seen me say that, you know, they're not real MGTOW, or they're not this. I'm just like, no, that's not correct.
Well, yeah, there was a very big incel invasion into the MGTOW space back in around 2017, and there's one I know of quite well, who I've done a lot of exposing on. And this MGTOW Dictionary guy kind of reminds me of that particular person. Now, I know that you stay out of this, you mind your business, but this is all me talking here, my opinion. And this MGTOW Dictionary reminds me very much of that guy. He told a story on this 8-hour stream of him going to Amsterdam, and these girls just couldn't keep their hands off of him. Right, and because he was from New York, they couldn't keep their hands off of him, and he was having threesomes and all this shit. And then if you actually listen to the story, it becomes quite clear that he paid those women, that they were prostitutes. Now anyone can do that, Now he's both saying shit like that. He's talking about how he got these prostitutes, and how, well, he was implying that he was the man, but they were actually prostitutes. And then at the same time, he's sitting here saying, well, these guys, they can't get women, and these dating roaches are just giving false hope to men who can't get the PP touched. And, and they're all grifters, essentially. I just smelled a grift when I listened to this guy. And I've been on a show or two with this guy before.
Right. With, oh, yeah. Well, I smell bullshit. And the way I look at dating coaches and PAs, for one, we could learn a lot about female nature from, because that's pretty much their wheelhouse. And two, they're offering a service. And if people want to avail themselves to the service, they have the right and freedom to do so. I mean, it shouldn't be that complicated.
I don't have a problem with it. I just have a problem when you're like, yeah, I'm the man,
Yeah, that guy, he's full of shit. Because you know what? We have a saying for what that guy said. And I haven't, to be honest with you, I haven't listened to the stream. I don't have 8 hours to sit through a stream and listen to Spurgs go off and just bloviate and make asses of themselves and basically shit the house up, figuratively speaking. I don't have the time for that. But as far as that goes, we had a term for that in the Navy. It's called a sea story, and that's what he told, is a sea story.
Yeah. We're going to have another guest on here shortly who did actually watch some good chunks of the stream, and they'll be able to tell us what happened. And I think you guys will be in for a surprise of who it is. I'm ready for them to attack me, dude. I think they're going to come in here and be like, well, you're a 4, look at you. And I'm a 4 that can get laid. So what's your excuse?
Whatever. I'm a -1, and I know guys that are -1s that get laid and get fine, not just get laid, but get attractive women to sleep with them.
I'm just saying, as much as I like these guys, some of them, like, I do like facing LMS. He's very intelligent. You can tell he's very intelligent, and he makes very good points. But the problem is, some of the guys that follow him will look at a guy who's not a Chad or a Chad light and be like, "You have a low S&V," and just talk all this shit. And there'll be guys like me who are saying, like, dudes, don't give up. As long as you're not like repulsive, you might have a chance to get with a woman. So don't give up. Do the work, lift weights, exercise.
Right.
Get your hair fucking cut. Dress right.
Yeah, take a fucking shower every once in a while.
Take a fucking shower.
Take it. Do some stuff. Make an effort, because if you want to get something, if you want to attain a goal, it just doesn't get dropped right in your lap. You got to put in some fucking work.
Yeah, nothing comes easy.
And then you put in the work, and then you take the action. The results are going to be what they're going to be.
Right, absolutely, man. Well, you're from the old school generation that really valued hard work.
Well, I'm Gen X, but my dad was a World War II vet, so he drilled that into my head. But if you want to do something, you got to put in the work to get there. You just can't. It just doesn't drop into your lap.
This is true. All right, so we're heading into the 20-minute mark. I only plan on having this about an hour, unless we may even open up the panel, see if someone wants to come on.
Yeah, that works. That works for me, because 8-hour streams are just ludicrous.
Yeah,
I could do 2 hours, but I'm just like, after that, it's like it's time to like go to bed. It's done.
Yeah, 2 is really pushing it for me. I just start to get tired, and the quality goes way down. It's already not great quality. I mean, it's okay. I'm still not in the groove of when I used to do streams every week, in which it was just like, snap my fingers.
But think about that. These guys listening to the stream, and apparently some of the Spurs that participated in the stream, imagine what they could have been doing for, like, she said, so it was a long stream. Some say it's over 8 hours, but if they spent that time doing something, working out, reading, or just or doing research or learning a new skill or something, they'd be much better off than sitting there bouncing off the walls, just red pill raging at the world. And it's like, I think a lot of these guys, like MGTOW Pictionary, I think their biggest problem is they're stuck in the red pill rage. And they're not trying to get past it, and they're just stuck in the loop. They're just stuck in a cycle.
Right. I think we're going to have to do a stream about the red pill rage. It's I don't know that too many people have talked about it. I know there's a lot of people that have had experiences with people who suffer from it. And let's just be honest, most of the community that I've seen suffers from red pill rage. You don't encounter the guys that are kind of like balanced and well-adjusted.
Well, anyway. I had the red pill rage, and what kind of stopped me in my tracks is I got deathly sick. That's what stopped it for me. Then I kind of had an epiphany, and no, I'm not talking about the stripper epiphany.
Yeah, it happens, man. That's why we're here, a lot of us. So without further ado, we're gonna have our goofy guest from the UK come on now, and this person has seen a good bit of the stream. So welcome to the stream, Thought.
You twat.
Hey, where's my steak and eggs, Thought?
Up my. Actually, no, I'd retract that. Up your ass.
Hey, Rose, before we get started, let me just give you one bit of advice. Allrecipes.com.
Suck a dick.
And the men don't eat your vegetarian garbage.
Yeah, we don't eat like eyeball stew and gut soup and
real men.
Spotted dick. We eat like real American food.
You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
I know, right? That's probably why I hang around.
Hold on. Thank you.
Grizzly, you're a twat.
Okay, so
I am what I eat from my head down to my feet.
You've seen the most of what these guys were saying, so give us some feedback on what you saw.
Oh my god, it was like listening to women, like scorned women, bitch and cry. It was painful. Honestly, right? If they actually spent as much time bitching, they might actually get a woman. It's just like 8 hours. Actually, it's almost 9 hours. What was it? 8 hours and 31 minutes?
Yeah, roughly 8.5 hours.
They could have They could have spent that time learning a skill. No, something that could potentially, if it kept at it, earn them money. But no,
sure.
It's gonna waste bitching. It's not even. It wasn't even constructive. It was, and what amazed me about the entire thing, right? No sources, no citations,
so
nothing.
It was all ad hominem attacks on these guys.
Yeah, it was a fucking sewing circle of bullshit. And at certain points, right, they got emotional. Like, like a fucking woman, a scorned woman talking about an ex, and they made lists. I'm not being funny, but what kind of masculine man does that? That sounds like what.
Well,
what you're saying is they were having basically an internet sewing circle.
Anyone who's organized will make a list, but list of what? What are you talking about?
They made lists about red pill content creators, and for some reason they mentioned TFM and tried to and Sandman and tried to say that they're fake MGTOW, but they actually didn't give any reasons why they think that, which I find hysterically funny. Like, and the other thing that I noticed when I looked through the comments, which I actually included in my video, is that he kept deflecting when people were trying to make solid arguments against what they were saying, and all he could do was deflect.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. There were quite a few guys that I noticed that cammed up on this stream. What do you think about them? What do they look like in your opinion?
Average looking.
So they're average looking, but if
that's another thing, right? I actually found it fascinating that they were bitching about the fact that they were trying to act like average men can't get women, which is bullshit.
It's harder. It's more of a challenge, but it's not impossible. So what they're saying is they give up. They're throwing it out. Now, in your opinion, as a thought, if these guys did a little
Well,
self-improvement, maybe cut their hair, maybe like learn to dress better,
if you look like a slob,
good facial hair.
Maybe they quit picking their
That's not
nose.
what we're talking about. Hang on, answer the question before you go on a spur out. If these guys improved,
yeah, like they're like some of them need to lose weight. To be honest, not just like for women, but for their own fucking health. Like it's just and it's just that whole stream just seemed like it was just covered in bitterness and like their own like kind of suffering. It was really fake and sad to listen to be honest. And I didn't even listen to all of it, just like parts of it. And
how much would you say you listened to as far as time is concerned?
I listened to probably about 40 minutes near the start, and then kind of like I watched parts of it. I watched most of modern live dating streams, and he kind of like I think skipped around too, and I watched near the end as well, and it was painful, to be honest, to listen to. It was fucking painful because there was no arguments. It was just insults, and that's really what it was, because they didn't back up their arguments at all, and they didn't even state why they thought the way that they did. It was just insults and more insults. But I'm sorry, but actually that's a lie. I'm not sorry at all. In this community, in the red pill community, in the manosphere, if you're gonna like talk cash money shit, at least fucking give sources or say why you think that way.
Explain your reasoning. Now, I looked around. I don't think he has, or at least he hasn't linked like a Patreon or anything like that, but it still smells like a grift to me. I'm not sure. Did you see whether he could get super chats or anything?
No, I didn't actually check. Like it, to be honest, like it just seems like this is all for views, to be honest. And
well, that's what I mean. You might, maybe he's trying to grow his audience.
And the thing that I find hysterically funny, like he accuses other men of using men, but like people like modern life dating and like they encourage men to actually self-improve. Because I've actually seen some of their streams. I haven't seen like for at least some of them, not all of their stream, but they encourage men to actually improve themselves and actually stay healthy. What does he do? It's all negative.
Pretty much tells them to give up, and it's all
give up. You know what? Why self-improve? You know what? Just become a beast, and you know what? Just cut your wrists. Really, just cut your wrists. Don't even bother living. But it's what he might as well say, because it's just I don't understand how anyone can watch this motherfucker.
Okay, and I just had a thought. Well, actually, I had this thought earlier, but now the whole like if you use game, you're a date rapist. Then
that made me laugh.
Something a feminist would say, doesn't it?
Yeah, they are. They are fucking feminists.
I'm not one of those guys. Obviously, I'm not a MGTOW, but I hang around MGTOWs or people who used to wear the label.
And
it was something else, but I've never seen MGTOW as the opposite of feminism, as the normies, try to do. But these guys in particular, perhaps you could just call them SPURTOW, but and not everybody.
They're worse than SPURTOW
or MGTOW per se.
They're not even MGTOW. Like
I'm mostly talking
about. They're fucking incels that have literally infiltrated this community. Have made it look bad. That's what they are.
Okay, we just got an interesting comment in the chat here. He says his dictionary app ain't free, so he is getting money for the stuff he does. I know he doesn't have a Patreon. Perhaps he's just waiting for to have a larger audience.
How does he have a dictionary when he's making up words on his stream that don't exist?
Yeah, I saw that. I did see that. But...
Like, I have an actual excuse because I'm dyslexic, so I'm going to mispronounce words. Okay, and that's just the way it is. But what's his excuse? I would love to hear it.
You know, Grizzly, you still here, man?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Okay, I have a question for you. As an older gentleman, what do you think about guys who are like your age, telling these guys are like 20-something, you know, and young and have their whole life ahead of them to just give up? Do you think that's a good thing, or let's hear it?
Well, I've said this actually on streams and videos on my previous channel. And what I tell these young cats is, hey, look, there's nothing wrong with going to the club. There's nothing wrong with having a little bit of fun, but your priority should be getting established in your profession. Or if you're not in a profession, going to some sort of school to learn a trade or learn a viable skill, pursue that, make that your priority, stack your money, save up, live your life, take care of yourself, which means, some form of exercise, eating a proper diet, not walking out the door looking like a fucking slob or a member of the Manson family. And, go to the club, hang out with your boys, have fun, maybe get some action every now and again, but don't make getting action the sole purpose of your life. Don't make that the sole reason of your life. When you're young, it should be a part of your life, but it shouldn't take up the majority of your life.
But when you're young,
these guys just these cats tell them just give up, and now for an old dog like me, or an old bear in this case,
yes.
What am I left to date with? Because I just don't want to go out and pump and dump 20-year-old thoughts, eat it if I could. But at the same time, Gen X women and millennial women are mostly trash bags, and they're toxic waste pits. So I'm just like, the juice isn't worth the squeeze. But you bet your ass when I was in the Navy, fuck, I was running around. I did that briefly. I went out and drank and got shit faced, and had to do the stealth walk to get out of some broad's place a couple of times. I went over to the Philippines, and getting back to the whole thing where he's talking about going to Amsterdam. When I was in the Philippines, I paid for hookers. That's what you do when you're there. It's not a big deal, but don't go try to embellish to make it like you're some sort of ladies' man.
But he also said that that guy wouldn't have got laid without me. I was like, that's basically what he said, and I was like, oh my god, you sound like a certain person that I used to be really close to. You're a narcissistic motherfucker.
But here's the thing,
Bobby Lewis so much.
Here's the thing: they sound like they have bitch brain syndrome.
They are bitch brain syndrome. They are the definition of bitch brain.
This guy MGTOW dictionary. I didn't see the stream. I can't sit through
dictionary.
I can't sit through 8 hours. I can't sit through 1 hour of that crap.
I probably could.
But here's my question: what the fuck do you talk about for 8 hours on a live stream?
They didn't. They bitched. Like I listened to like the first 40 odd minutes of it. I fast forward hours ahead, and they were still bitching about basically the same bullshit. And I was like, wow, that's amazing. That's commitment. If only you put that commitment elsewhere, you might actually get somewhere in life. Huh? Did we think about that one? Another thing that I found most amusing, right? They were bitching about average looking men or below that. Well, there's a solution for you, okay? Get a blindfold or go to a fucking dating site where women have a fetish for ugly men and incel men. Okay, there is a market there. Use it.
Yeah, I mean, getting a blind woman would make things easier in some ways.
Yeah, but those blind women can make out, once they touch you, they can make out your face, and they'll figure out that you're a chud.
Well, I mean, if they like reach down and touch your belly and then they 12 months pregnant.
From what you guys are telling me, it sounds like it was just like a bunch of fucking like neckbeards and weebs just sitting there bitching for 8 hours about, woman bad. Well, no shit, but what are you doing about it?
Nothing. Yeah, it's not even just that. Like they're bitching, complaining, and they're not even doing anything about it. They're basically like like it's, at least it sounds to me like they're trying to encourage young men, basically, that they should be obese and just let themselves die young. That's
well, misery loves company. That's what I was thinking.
Well, they sound like nihilists.
Yeah. Well, that's not really what the black pill is supposed to be, although a lot of people equate it to nihilism. At least the way I see the black pill, I mean, is just an acceptance of what you can't change. You know, whereas the red pill is more of, this is reality. You know, it's positivity a little bit, and we can change these things. So do it. You know,
the thing is, like, those people that did show their face on the path, it's not like they're disgustingly ugly.
Right.
That they could improve themselves if they wanted to. They choose not to.
I don't think I'm any better looking than some of those guys.
Well, what I can surmise about those guys in that panel is they have no personality.
But to be honest, they seemed more afraid of their own fucking shadow. It was like they didn't want to actually express their own personality at all.
Okay, so when you say afraid, it was just they didn't want to be themselves. They, you know, what do you mean by
insecure of what people would think of them? It's so like it really. I don't know if that, like, it was shyness or whatever, but it's just like it didn't seem that you were really comfortable even being on the stream to begin with.
That's where I was going. That's where my thought was going. It's like, well, if you're insecure with yourself and you're not confident, why the fuck are you camming up and going on this stream, dude? Are they facing their fears, or, you know, there's just kind of a disconnect there?
And it's just it's more weird when, like, the guy that's hiding his face tries to make out that he's more masculine, and then there was basically a power struggle between him and the bigger YouTuber. I forgot his name already. Yeah, that one. And it was really funny to listen to.
From what you guys have described, you know what it sounds like these guys look like? They look like a bunch of D&D dorks.
They weren't that bad.
I mean, it's like they sound, the way you're describing it, because I didn't see the stream, but it sounds like they sound like D&D dorks with like that insufferable, overly nerdy personality.
Oh, you're talking personality. I mean, looks-wise, I didn't see any guys that like looked.
But they probably just have that. They probably have the stench of death on them when they walk up to a woman. I mean, they're probably like, you talk about thought repellent. They repel women.
Yeah, but that's probably for their awkward behavior.
Yeah, well, that'll drive
and defeatist attitude. It's going to put women off.
Negative attitude and lack of confidence. Yes, that puts people off. Neediness will chase people away. Like, you know, I don't care how hot a woman is. Like, if she's overly needy, like, get the fuck away from me.
Exactly.
What's wrong with you?
Well, for every hot woman out there, there's a guy that's sick of her shit.
Yeah, and there's the hot crazy metric that I've heard about. You know.
I mean, but yeah, these guys sound like they're just lost. And I almost feel sorry for incels because they're lost. Because, you know, a lot of them probably didn't have a dad growing up, or the mom divorced, raped the dad to get the cash and prizes. And they didn't have a strong male figure to grow up with and learn from.
Yeah, I was fortunate to have grandfathers and a father, you know, my whole life. So I'm happy about that. Maybe that's all the difference.
And see, a lot of those guys, you know, it sounds like they never learned how to deal with rejection or disappointment.
But everyone has to deal with that.
Well, no kidding, but they never learned that growing up as a kid.
True. There's like 7 billion people.
Oh, the thing that I found funny is, like, he also included height, and well, you already know my dating history, and I actually knew short Korean men, and they were able to pick up white women quite easily.
Oh yeah, they love those tall Western women.
Yeah, and some of them were short. In fact, they actually wore well, obviously they were male shoes, but they had a bit of a heel on them to give the illusion they are taller. So obviously when they did take them off, they would be actually shorter than the woman, but it was kind of funny.
Yeah, but they probably had deep pockets too.
No.
Yeah.
And that tickles the hypergamy buttons.
It does, but these guys, like, they don't want a woman to like them for their money. They want the woman to actually desire them. That's like
that's
anybody can.
that's bullshit because a woman will never love you for who you are. She'll
Well,
only love you for what you represent and what you can provide them.
That's true to a point. They want to be like, they want what Chad has, is basically what I'm implying.
But Chad doesn't even. Chad goes to girl to girl to girl to girl.
Chad is like a top 10, 20.
Chad doesn't.
Yeah, but let me tell
settle.
you about Chad, because I have one of my best friends in the world is a Chad. And you know what Chads do? They spend like 2 or 3 hours in the gym daily. They eat a strict diet. They exercise, getting back to the gym. And they have personality. And they're confident.
No argument here. Now,
and they're absolute stomp down assholes.
No, again, no argument. Now, Rose, you saw some of the nicknames that these content creators were given. What did you think of that?
Pathetic. It actually, to be honest, it's bitch brain behavior. It's something I'll expect from women. Like a woman describing her exes and was rating them from literally her worst down to like literally slowly degrading to the less worse.
Yeah, I know. He was like calling Rollo Tomasi witch boy or something like that,
and he doesn't even explain why. Like, it's really funny. Like, he doesn't. They literally give no reasoning. They just make accusations with no backup.
Yeah, there were some other names. It was like MLD. It was called Modern Life Date Rape or something like that. I can't recall.
Yeah. That wasn't actually what he put on the list, but that's what he referred to him as.
Yeah.
And modern lie.
Yeah, maybe.
Dating.
Yeah, those insults sound childish and pedantic. I mean, it's very juvenile on their part.
It's faultish. It sounds like it's something a thought would do about an ex that she can't stand and hates because she feels in her mind that they've wronged her in some way. And that's how he actually behaved in the stream, which is so funny because he's like, oh yeah, what did he say? Basically, they're taking advantage of men. It's something like that. I can't remember the exact wording, but it's just like, I'm almost like, well, then, and what are you doing, dickhead? What are you doing? You're telling men to give up. In fact, you might as well tell them to slit their wrists because that's literally kind of the aura I'm getting from you directly. Like, you're just telling them not give up. Don't even bother living.
Yeah, I hear him say that, but I don't hear him like offer any sort of solution. Whereas like at least old school.
And he's like, oh God, I actually wanted to punch him, to be honest, at a certain point. What was it? I might have to go back on my own video to actually find it. But he was just like, but at least I'm here calling it out. And I was just like, oh my God, we've got DJ 10, like, no, I'm sorry, 2.0. At least I'm here calling it out. No, fuck you. You're not calling shit out. Like, you made no arguments. You're a bitch. You're not a man. You're a fucking wuss that's bitching with no argument at all. You made like literally no argument. Like, the only arguments you made was basically common red pill knowledge that he parroted from TFM, Sandman, and other fucking content creators, which he accused of being fake MGTOW. And I just hit the fucking desk again. I need to stop doing that.
Yeah, stop beating up your desk.
Right, learn to cook.
There you go.
Fuck off.
Lay out the wine.
Maybe we ought to teach, we'd be like the 22 convention then.
Teaching women how to be women again.
Say some make women great again type of shit, but I'll pass on that.
Allrecipes.com, Rose.
There you go.
Fuck off and die. Oh.
Yeah. See Sikhs memeing on these motherfuckers. Yeah, I mean, they have a saying. It's like, what is it? Hope, which is PUA, like dating coaches. cope, which is MGTOW, and rope, which is them. Hope, cope, and rope.
Yeah, well, those guys, like I said, I didn't catch any of the stream. I heard part of it on your video, Rose, but they just sound like a bunch of bozos. They sound like a bunch of bozos. Or, misery loves company, and the company loves misery. So they're all getting together. It's just like a big giant hen party, except it's for, emasculated, castrated males.
That's what they sound like. But it's just, honestly, it was embarrassing to listen to as a woman, because it sounded to me like women bitching, yet they're meant to be men. And then they had the audacity to basically say, oh, they're not real men. Dudes, look at yourselves. Do you really think that you're behaving like men right now? Because you're behaving like a bunch of fucking women, literally scorned women, bitching and crying.
Well, you know what we should do? We should do with those guys is we should match them up with bras like MD. That'd be perfect. They'd be a perfect fit.
She wouldn't have them, but she still wants to try to get them Chad cucumbers.
You know what? She got kicked off the carousel for being too old.
Yeah. Well, she's not.
You must be this young to ride.
She just looks like she's been used extra hard and put away.
Yeah, used hard and put up wet.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's not much tread left on that tire.
Yeah, I don't even, I could do a video and like I said, that very first video she put out that I think Rose talked about a little bit, it is an absolute case study, and I could talk about it. I just don't want to give her the attention. She don't deserve the attention.
No, she really doesn't.
I think that's what her sinister plan is.
But getting back to these jack-offs, they are in fact kind of like the the polar opposite, but yet kind of the same as these bitter feminists that have been aged out of the game and can no longer get Chad.
Yeah, but is that because they don't realize Chad doesn't want to settle?
Yeah, but here's the thing: Chad eventually
Jack the
does
lad
want to settle.
Marry. No, he doesn't. Jack the lad is a Chad. Jack the lad doesn't want to settle. He wants to fuck as many women as possible. I mean, maybe one day, in the back of his mind, he eventually wants to settle. But most that I've seen, that even now, they still haven't settled. They're still fucking as many women as possible. And they're my age now, and they've been doing that since
give it another 5 or 10 years.
Late teens.
Yeah, give it another 5 or 10 years.
And they'll be like, oh God, no.
So I got an idea that I'm probably going to enact.
What's that?
I think I'm going to do a little undercover operation.
Oh.
And what I mean is I'm going to sign up for one of these modern life dating programs. I'm going to use see if I can't use someone else's picture and stuff like that so he doesn't know that it's me. Go through it, and then I'm going to do a review. And you guys know I'm not going to, if he turned out to be a grifter or something, I would tell the truth about that. So.
But the thing is, there have been guys, random guys, that have said that, some of them probably didn't need that much help because they probably were at least average looking or maybe above that, but didn't have the confidence.
Yeah, and confidence is major. No one wants to be around some insecure punk, who always needs, validation or, a pat on the back and shit. Nobody likes that. I had a female stalker, believe it or not. Average me has had a female stalker that was like that, and once she got like that, it's like block on everything.
Well, here's the thing, and I was thinking about I think the first 2 things I was told when I got to boot camp was stand up straight. Well, maybe 3 things: stand up straight, square your shoulders back, stick your chest out, and sound off like you got a pair. confidence.
Yeah.
Don't walk around slump-shouldered, and if your head down, that nothing drives a woman's coochie up faster than that.
Well, it's as modern life dating will point out, it's body language. It says it's submissive, like putting your head down, like.
Well, even my father told me not to do that because he said that if I do that, it just opens for me to be attacked because I'm focusing on something else, and I'm just leaving myself to be attacked.
Yeah.
You're putting yourself in a very vulnerable state where someone can take advantage.
Aware, people can be predators. They look for signs like that of someone not paying attention, not being confident. They're predators. Body language is a thing.
The only thing I got going for me is I'm 6'2", and I'm a pretty I'm a pretty stocky guy. When I walk into a room, people recognize my presence.
He's a big crazy bear you don't want to fuck with.
It's fine. You just kick him in the knees or the shins, and then you run away fast.
You better hope you can run fast.
Yeah, you know what? Remember what they say? Don't poke the bear because the bear might poke you. Once again, allrecipes.com, Rose.
Fuck off.
I
will poke the bear now. They'll slap you.
Yeah, don't threaten me with a good time.
Uh-huh. Awesome.
Thank you.
Twat.
Thank you.
He loves being called, so it's a compliment to him.
Yeah. I have to be generous sometimes, okay? Not all the time, but sometimes.
Yeah. Oh, God. Are you reading the YouTube chat?
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately I have. And I need to have a bottle of wine now.
Chat. I'm 5'9". I'm average height for a dude. I'm not like super square jaw dude, and I do fine. I went for a walk the other day and I had dogs checking me out. So
yeah, but you know what though? I mean, we're all born with deficits in one form or another. Some people are born stupid. Some people are born short. Some people are have a harder time keeping weight off. Some people are introverted. The list can go on and on and on and on. And part of the game of life is overcoming those deficits, or at least not making them as much of a fucking deficit. But these guys, it sounds like they're sitting around for 8 hours, which is, listen to that, must be like fucking Chinese water torture. And they're talking about facial structures, and you know what they do? They obsess so much about it, and they crawl too far into their heads, and they don't get out and see the bigger picture, and it changes their whole frame of reference, and they get the solipsism and cognitive dissonance, and then they start going around being pissed off at the world, and especially at women.
I think I've also made another observation, though, like your location may be a key. One look may be more attractive in a different location as opposed to where you're at. I was still capable where I was in a larger city, but I was a little more invisible than my current location. So location makes a difference. Plus, around here, a lot of the dudes are they're looking like they're getting ready to be pregnant. And, I'm at least, fairly average build. I could probably lose a few pounds, but I'm not doing too terrible in that department. So they see a guy like me, who's walking around confident, taking care of himself, and not a blob, and that puts me up there.
Well, if you lose any more weight, Sally Stars is going to do a telethon for you.
Well, I just need it. You know how it is when you get older. It kind of piles on in the belly area. I could lose a little bit there, but otherwise, yeah, I'm fine. But other than that, just a little bit of work, and I'll be where I want to be. Do the work.
Yeah, well, where I'm at currently, don't even get me started on the butter hogs.
Yeah.
But I mean, the point is, these guys, whatever. Like I said, I have a friend, and let's put it this way, he has unconventional looks. but the guy still gets more ass in the toilet seat.
There you go.
You know, and he's
exotic
because he's basically exotic for some women. Because
but trust me, he's not getting them based off his looks.
Personality.
You know, he knows how to. You know, he knows how to talk.
The charm. You know,
he has a charm about him.
But to be honest, like if he has like certain looks, like that can be like an attractive thing sometimes for a woman, especially if he can carry it, and he's not an insecure prat. Basically.
And let's face it, this guy MGTOW Pictionary, and the guys he had on that stream, they sound like a bunch of incels.
They do.
And I think incel's a false canard anyway, because just about anybody could get laid.
Well, that's the thing. Getting back to, they want the woman to actually desire them and not have to pay for it. Like that's the entire.
I'm not even talking about paying for it. There's even Corky got laid for crying out loud.
But the thing is, like,
so
they sounded feminine, and it sounds like they really were scared of their own shadow. Like it sounds like they have no experience at all, really, with women or even being confident with themselves. That they're actually insecure of the way they look and being judged, even though they're showing themselves on camera. Like it was just. It was very awkward to actually watch and listen.
So you're saying they need to raise their T levels? Am I right?
Yeah, eat some fucking blueberries, work out.
Eat some blueberries? No, they need to eat a 72-ounce steak. They could puke it up after they get done if they've eaten too much. Hit the gym, build some testosterone, straighten out their friggin' back. Walk with some pride. You're gonna make mistakes. We all do. The only way you get better is through experience, and the only way you get better at anything is by doing it actually out in the field instead of sitting there stuck in your head, sitting in the basement, smacking to anime porn and eating Cheetos.
And the other thing is the thing that I really don't like about incel dictionary, because that is what he is. He's a fucking incel, and he can cry and bitch if he wants to me if he likes. I really couldn't care less. But I think it's toxic what he's actually preaching to these men that actually do stand a chance with women. And the only thing that they need to change is probably only need to learn game and have some fucking confidence in yourself and stop being scared of your own fucking shadow and thinking the worst of yourself.
Well, and let's say, just for the sake of argument, let me play devil's advocate here, that they do all this, they exercise, they get in great shape. They change their appearance. They look halfway decent. They're stylish or whatever. Let's say they do end up striking out more than they score. Yeah, let's look at the benefits. What do they get in return? Even though they might have not gotten what they exactly wanted, they're healthier. They look better. They may even feel better.
Then they need to.
It might have helped. It might be the foot in the ass they need to kind of start them professionally, so they do better monetarily. So it's not all just like, well, I failed. Well, you got to look at the positives and negatives. Every gray cloud has a silver lining.
Mm.
I'm going to address something that was said in the chat right quick. So Xiaomi said something about them focusing on their facial structure. Why don't they get plastic surgery and stop whining about it? Some of them do. Some guys get like these implants, so like their cheeks are higher, and they'll get like jaw implants and shit like that.
Oh, for Christ's fucking sake!
But that's not even the worst of it. One guy came on the show and said he was like 5'4". He went through this operation where they broke his legs and inserted like these rods into his legs so that he would get up to 5'7". That's the lengths these guys are willing to go to get their pee-pee touched by a female.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Well, I don't really mind when broads have plastic surgery, because it just further confirms that they're plastic objects for my use.
All right.
I don't like plastic surgery at all.
I know, but it just already confirms that they're objects, and it's just kind of like, okay, again, you got me there for a minute, but this shows me that
Well, I get your philosophy, but for
And
me,
I'm being kind. Of course, if you haven't figured it out, being a smart ass.
yeah, for me, it's just like these dudes. It just confirms their insecurities.
I mean, if broads want to get fake tatas, yeah, I'm not going to stop them.
They can do whatever they want. I'm curious whose money they're spending. A lot of times
You think that women do that not just for their own vanity, but like they actually want to keep the man around, and they think that's the way to do it?
No, they do it for attention and validation. That's the bottom line.
I think that a lot of the part of it is basically to prolong and trying to delay aging as much as possible, because it's basically she's used to a tool, and when she sees that it's basically disappearing, she's trying to cling hold of it tightly, and she's delaying it. I mean, she can't beat it in the end, but that's what she's trying to do.
Well, let's face facts. A woman, let's just be brutally honest. A woman's value is based on her appearance, her health, and her ability to have healthy children.
But
so that's why they do it.
More. Because you can't escape aging. I mean, you can try.
Yes, we know, Rose.
We know the wall defeats them all. Rose.
Yes, the wall's approaching, Rose.
Fuck off.
Anyhow,
where it hurts.
Address what Vin V said. He said thousands of dollars to get laid, desperation to the max. Not only that, I mean, I think this guy went to like South America. Where he went escapes me, but it wasn't the West. Like, I don't think it was the West where I think they would turn him away for such a procedure. Not only was it super expensive, we're probably talking, I want to say 6 figures or something. But it was extremely painful, and he was bedridden. I forget how long he said he was bedridden. Not only that, but the leg lengthening procedure that he did actually is going to shorten his lifespan too.
Oh my god, that's not even worth it.
Yeah, he wants to get his fucking pee-pee touched, and he felt insecure at 5'4". So
Jesus Christ, he could just go to the fucking whorehouse with $200 and satisfy that urge.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen short guys that can, pick up the weight
and get a woman there. To be honest, I mean, they'd probably be the same height, but
I mean, who the fuck gets fucking stilts installed into their legs?
I don't know. Like I said,
I mean, it's like that's just too much.
All right, so I had a thought too. Now these guys, shifting gears just a little bit. Now Rose said that these guys went on cam and that they were insecure. Does it seem like maybe they want it and they want people? How do I phrase this properly? Like they're into like the pain, like they want to come on cam and have people talk shit about them.
You're saying they're masochists?
Yeah, that's.
I don't think that is why. I think secretly they're trying to prove they're not incels, and I think that's why they were doing it. Even though they're cussed as backfilled, I think secretly they were trying to prove I'm not an incel. Like, I mean, they wouldn't be.
But they're there.
They fixed things about themselves.
For that kind of, they went there to whine though, like to whine.
I don't know. That was just like they behaved like women, and they didn't even realize they behave just like women do when they're fucking butthurt. Stop it! Just stop it! And then telling other men to grow a pair of balls. Dickheads, look in the mirror. Look at yourselves. You're behaving like women. Scorned women.
A lot of these incels are like, they'll hide behind their avatars. I mean, I know why Grizz.
Well, I hide behind my avatar because
I know why you do the.
Someone doxes me. If someone doxes me, I don't want to go to jail when they show up in my front door.
Yeah.
And plus, I'd probably break the camera.
Yeah, I understand why you do it, but you're also not like on here talking about other dudes' looks and how you're, you're this, that, and the other thing.
No, you actually create actual arguments and actually provide sources to your arguments, unlike some people.
You do math.
Hey, Vin V, bourbon. Bourbon. I am a bear. I'm a cyborg bear.
Yeah, bourbon all day, every day. I'm a bourbon man. America bourbon, by the way. You can get it at Walmart. And Walmart that sells liquor.
What, get that old Rocka?
America bourbon. No, it's good stuff. It's really smooth.
Walmart bourbon. I don't know, man. I'm thinking, like, God, you know, it's going to roll my stomach.
They just sell it at the liquor stores in Walmart and
okay.
Stores.
Well, I'm glad I don't drink anymore, so.
Yeah, no, it's really smooth, really good stuff. You'll pay for it, you know. It's like $35 for a bottle. Really good stuff, and it's also made by veterans, U.S. veterans.
Okay, well,
Basil Hayden, one of my favorites.
You know, when I used to drink, my drink of choice was vodka.
That's the vodka right there, man.
You like 180, 190 proof vodka.
I never could get into that. It was like drinking rubbing alcohol.
You know, if I was feeling a little festive, I'd take it out of the freezer and splash some cranberry juice in it.
I can actually remember, like, one of my friends, like, he went to Russia and he asked if vodka was safe, and the Russian replied, "Oh, some foreign tried this and it killed him." And my friend just smiled and was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, and the Russian's like, "You must try it." He's like, "Okay, I'll try it." And it's probably gonna kill me. Didn't kill him, funny enough, but he basically it was so pure that he blacked out, apparently, and he was fine afterwards, but he didn't remember anything. And his friend wouldn't actually tell him what happened. He just his friend just smiled, was like, "Wow, you sang a lot, and I'm not going to say what else you did."
Well, you know what, Rose? We know what your favorite adult beverage is, and that's box wine.
No.
Okay, guys, does anybody in the chat want to come on real quick? We're gonna shut this down. I'm not going past an hour and a half. Like, I know we're having fun here, but we're past an hour.
Yeah, we don't want to do an 8-hour stream because that would be like slow torture.
Like I said,
fuck
2
me,
hours
man.
pushing it for me.
How the fuck do you do even a 5-hour stream? I mean, that would tax the limits of my medication.
If you guys want to come on real quick, say something in the chat. I'll drop the link. And,
you can actually, you could hold on, because you could post it in the server, because I actually gave the link in the server.
No, I'm talking about to the
Yeah, I know. But some people actually got the into stream because I dropped the link, so you could drop it in the server and they can maybe click on it, maybe, or just do it in chat. I don't know how many people are watching right now.
Oh, it's like 7-ish, maybe more.
Okay. I still can't believe though my chair broke. Actually, both of them broke.
What broke?
Both of my chairs.
You know what, Rose? You need to lose some weight, sweetheart.
No, the other one was already broke, basically. But I was desperate, so I had.
What are you trying to say, Rose?
And then the other chair, right? In fact, Wolf can even actually confirm the screw was actually going away from the chair.
The chair isn't the problem.
She likes to destroy her place. She destroys her chairs, her desk, her toilet. She just destroys
I mean, Rose, what's going on? Do you have like a BMI of Jabba the Hutt or something? What's going on? You having problems?
No, I'm just abusing my chairs.
You know, maybe go out, take a walk, get some sunshine. You know, that big bright orb of gas in the air that's really hot. It's gonna feel like your skin is burning, but that's normal. You'll get used to it over time.
No, fuck you.
Yeah, Holy Blade. You're on the right track there, bud.
But one chair was my nan's chair, so I don't actually know how old it was until because it was already kind of fucked when it actually got to the flat.
You know what she's trying to say? She's trying to say that she needs a man to come over and fix it for her.
No, it's too late for that. I mean, I could try to put it together, but it's probably not.
But seriously, go out, Rose, go out in the sunshine, take a walk, get some fresh air.
I did, actually.
Not at night, though, like when the sun is actually out.
Yeah, I did. Even though I wasn't meant to. And I could have got in trouble with the police for it.
Did you have to go inside so you didn't turn to dust?
I hid underneath the overgrowth so nobody would notice. But then this bitch, right? Fucking stupid cunt.
Oh my gosh, she sounds like me now, for Christ's sakes.
Like, she gave me this dirty look, right? She was on the phone and like she basically she wanted me to move. So I just smiled at her. I was like, I'm not moving. Because I was by basically it's like a huge pond, basically. And I just smiled at her and just like, yeah, not moving. Fuck you. So she went to walk all the way around to go on the other side. And then she was like giving me dirty looks and I just smiled at her and just stuck my finger at her. And I was like, yeah, bitch, I don't want to hear you. I actually sat here for a reason and it wasn't to listen to you. Fuck off.
All right. I guess since nobody's coming on, excuse me.
Only Babe might come on.
No, he said he wasn't, I don't think. He ain't got nothing to say, he says.
Nothing to say. Disappointed. Get your ass on. Rose, you're being a bully.
Anyways, let's get to final thoughts, starting with Grizzly. Anything to add to the main topic?
It sounds like this MGTOW Pictionary is I don't know, he's just crying sour grapes against these PEOA / dating coach guys. And I think, he just, misery loves company, and they just seem like a bunch of gaggle of just very angry, frustrated, bitter men. I know that sounds stereotypical, but at least from what I heard of the stream, that's what it sounds like to me. They made no arguments. They made no counter arguments. They didn't bring up anything. It was just, childish and pedantic juvenile bullshit.
Yep.
I think their main argument is lookism. And, if you don't meet, if you don't have that square jaw and the, your eyes, it's over thing.
Each content creator has a target audience. I'm sorry if you actually, that's a lie. I'm really not sorry. If you don't fit in it, then you're obviously not the target audience. But it doesn't mean you should give up. You have other routes that you can choose if you want to choose them. It doesn't mean that it's a completely hopeless case.
So what you're saying is this guy MGTOW Pictionary was basically throwing red meat to his sycophants.
And trying to, it seemed to me like he was also trying to like steal or absorb a part of Face and LMS's audience.
You know what it reminded me of? Like basically when MGTOW started going for the Redman group because of DJ, like that's literally what it reminded me of, because it was basically the same stick basically, but it's basically the position was moved somewhat, but it was the same bullshit. Going, they're scamming men, blah blah blah. Shut the fuck up. Like, how is it negative that they're encouraging men to look after themselves physically?
Yeah, money, muscles, game. What is wrong with that advice? Even if you,
there's nothing wrong with that advice.
Nothing.
And the other thing, right, is that online dating does not guarantee you're going to get laid. So what that idiot told them, his stupid incel dictionary, was a lie. It was like the whole stream was based on absolute fucking bullshit, lies, bitterness, and deceit. That is what that stream was. And apparently he's going to do another stream on Saturday.
Well, he said that these guys were feeding off the misery of men. Well, that's exactly what he's doing.
Yeah, that is what he's doing to a T.
Except for his message is negative, whereas their message is positive. Do the work. granted, yeah, some of the advice that you could get from them is behind a paywall. I get that. I get how you could possibly criticize that, but these guys got to make a living, you know.
Well, it's not just
That's what they do.
the other thing is like they give free advice. Like some
do.
days it's completely free,
Free
completely
consultation
free.
Friday for Modern Life.
Exactly. Some days they actually do it for free, and you know, I hate to break it to you, stupid motherfucking incels, but it doesn't really take much of a genius to work out what you're doing wrong. Like, you're insecure. Like, either go and see a fucking psychiatrist or go to a fucking dating coach. Because you need to pick those two, because your problems are basically more probably mental than physical.
Now, I will say one thing that I need to make sure I put out there. There are quite a few like dating coach grifters out there.
Yeah, that is true.
These are guys I've never fucking heard of. Like, I'll click on a video on YouTube and it'll play some video of some guy I've never heard of, never seen before in my life, who's basically regurgitating shit that we all know.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever been ghosted by a woman? Like, it means this, that, and the other thing. Now, I've been in your shoes before. That's like so cheesy. Like, bro, and with the times, everybody knows this shit now. Like, you're way behind. But it's different guys, like, and their actual YouTube. Like, someone paid YouTube to put these on there.
Mm.
It's like, wow, they're coming out of the woodwork, just like the so-called purple pill dating coaches kind of came
They've been
out.
coming out of the woodwork for ages now, and it's been so obvious. And most of the time, their PUAs basically are doing it for money only, and they don't even give a fuck about men actually just doing it for money.
It's a grift.
Dictionary, incel dictionary. He's doing this for views and for recognition. That's what he's doing it for.
Yeah, I definitely got a whiff of, like, you know, Blobby Lewis 2.0 with this guy.
He tries to make out that he cares about. He doesn't care about men, because if he did, I'm not being funny, but he would give these men solutions. He would actually, tell them to you know what? If you're looking in looks, you can do X, Y, and Z. You can if you're not going to do it for women, at least do it for your own fucking health. But he doesn't even tell them that. He doesn't give a shit about men. He cares about his pocket and his fame, and that's what actually he does care about.
Well, from what I can tell, he's not making a whole lot of money right now, but that doesn't mean he's not, trying to set it up.
I think he actually cares more about fame than actual money, to be honest. Yeah,
narcissistic supply is a pretty good currency for, a narcissist, obviously. That's true, Seek.
But it's just, I find it disgusting. Like, he tries to act like he cares about men when he doesn't. Because if he really cared about men, then why are all his videos clickbait? Literally all of them, I looked, they're all clickbait. They're all negative.
Well, I mean, he's making fun of some of your old enemies, though. Like Mike the MGTOW cuck or whatever. And I don't know anything about this Hammerhand guy. I barely know about Mike other than some of the hijinks he's done.
He's toxic. He really is fucking.
But Mike the meth head moron.
Yeah,
that guy.
He's a doxer. I can't stand that motherfucker. And so is Portuguese twat. He's a fucking doxer too.
Yeah, I mean, he's went after basically those guys: Hammerhand, Mike the MGTOW cuck, Portuguese incel. But now he's setting his sights on the bigger guys, I guess.
I think that's because the MGTOW community don't want anything to do with him.
Well, I don't know whether they do or don't, but
they must realize that he's an incel.
It's like a prison mentality, If you want to go up in rank, you got to attack the big boys.
The thing is, like, especially like him, like if he's already attacked other MGTOW and hasn't offered like proper criticism, then they're not going to want anything to do with him, and that's just the way it is in the MGTOW community on YouTube.
and I think Grizzly missed this part of the story, but so this guy did this 8.5 hour stream talking about the content creators in modern life dating. Actually got in his comments and was like, "Hey, why don't you come on to my show?"
All right, yeah.
And what, he punk out?
And the guy goes, "No, why don't you come on my show on Saturday?"
I am, but what are you?
Right.
Yeah, but
Modern Life Dating issued the challenge. That's not a proper response. When you come on my show, why the hell would someone with a much larger audience come to his show? It's very clear what you want. You want, a bigger audience. So, normally when these sorts of things happen, the smaller person goes on the larger person's show.
And it still benefit him. He's a fucking retard.
It would still benefit him. At least, people would come and watch this shit just to see what kind of shit he's saying. It's sort of like
even though it would have been painful.
The guy with the cuck hat, the golf hat, does shit like this.
Yeah.
Similar tactic.
Yeah. So true.
Anyhow, we're gonna wrap it up. We could go probably for another 10 minutes, but we're going to fizzle out here.
Yeah, I'm about done.
I think we've said about everything that we can say about.
Yeah,
this
unlike some people.
But I am like I just don't shut up.
See, Rose, unlike some people, I actually sleep a regular amount of hours per night.
Okay, beggars can't be choosers. Okay, I'm kind of like a beggar in a way. I can't even choose when to sleep. Therefore, I have to keep talking until I exhaust myself.
Well, if you exercise more, you sleep really well.
Drink less wine.
I'm only allowed to exercise once, although technically it's not quite. Actually, it's kind of like the beginning of the second bottle, which could lead to me getting very drunk later.
Oh boy! I'll pray for your liver, Rose.
It's fine. I'll get away with it for now.
Yeah, for now, I guess. All right, so we're gonna stop it here.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Wolf.
It's definitely been fun. It's been a long while coming, Grizz. We're people who are listening. We're considering doing a regular show called Caffeine and Hatred. If we can, a morning show where we let the Grizz unleash his grumpiness on the world.
It's my gift.
It is his gift to everyone, to the world.
How generous.
We're probably going to have more panels. There's stuff I want to talk about, like Red Pill Rage, and hopefully I can get another special guest who's a former MGTOW on here. That's hopefully going to be the next stream. He's got to text me back, or message me on Discord. Mm. But we'll get that going. It's one of Rose's enemies now, as you know. She's temperamental, but
that's an understatement.
Yeah. All right. Thank you all for being on.
All right. Thanks for having me.
Thank everybody for being here, and we'll see you guys next time.
All right. Later.